Hi everyone, Aldbar here, and welcome to my live stream. Here you can ask your DDO questions, ask for DDO demonstrations, and ask for DDO advice. So please be a guest on my show, Ask Aldbar DDO Live. Enjoy. So what's up and how y'all guys? How y'all doing today? Right now, I've got my character over here, working his way towards, top level. And for now, I've got a few quests that are still level 23 that I want to finish, so. Got Druid's Curse, and another Druid's quest I need to finish, and then Memory Lapse. So, yeah, those I want to finish those quests before I move up. I already have the experience I need to level up the next level, but then I'll get a penalty to my XP if I don't do it right away, so. Let's go. Yeah, this quest is part of a quest chain. Druid's Deep. There's some kind of corruption that's going on, something to do with druids, blah, 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 whatever. And my job is to find out what it is, so. And this particular quest, I'm looking for somebody who's apparently bring back some kind of corruption something. I don't know. I think that's what the story is. At any point you feel lost or not sure what's going on, please just type context, please, and I'll be very happy to explain what's going on.
This idyllic woodland scene betrays nothing of what corruption lies within.
The voice you hear over there is the dungeon master telling you like the story, giving you the vibe of what's going on. There's a lot of these places where you fight a druid and his druid companion, which in this quest is always going to be a big dire bear. They come in pairs. And then, well, the rest of it's fighting the foliage. These vine horrors, creepers, whatever they're called.
Great root barriers have grown over every bear den. What twisted force is at work here? This is far from nature in balance.
Yeah, so in the main room where I walked in, there was a barrier made out of roots, kind of like this, that is being powered by some corruption kind of thing, whatever. The water running through the ground. So I need to go to the end of these two passageways and break some kind of node that will open up that passageway. So that's basically what I'm doing now. Got to clear my way to get to the end, and once I do, I'll be able to go back to the center and end the quest. Because right now there's a event going on called the Snow Peaks Festival, where they have these chests who open up, you have these champions you fight, we get these chests who give you coins and keys, or you can use for like special chest event, a special, special winter event. Basically, you can get certain rewards from it that come around only once a year. The build I'm playing right now basically allows me to attack things and also heal myself at the same time. So as I'm attacking, part of my attacks also heal me. So I whack things and you can see the green numbers coming off my head every time there's a green number. Here, like now, 268. That was a healing number, 253, 253. So those are the different specific attacks that I'm doing. Basically, if you look at the keyboard, the keyboard shortcuts, you'll be able to see the buttons that I'm pressing as I'm doing it. So I've got these shortcut bars and all these abilities on the shortcut bars over here, and some of them do specific things. So this will heal me, and all these other attacks, a lot of them do specific attacks that also heal. I happen to be also running another event called the Miststalker event, where every once in a while I get attacked by these guys. If I defeat them, well, I can fill up my lantern. I'll explain in just a moment. But basically, if I defeat this guy, I'll get like 30 XP on something, on a lantern, which is an item that I have equipped right now. Yeah, so here in my inventory, I've got this item equipped. It's a cosmetic item, but it has like this blue bar at the bottom of it with a number, and that blue bar fills up. And once it's totally full, I'll be able to return this lantern and get a reward for it. Will give me a mount, something I can ride around in public areas, make me move faster. So yeah, every time I kill one of those things, I get a reward, and I'm just collecting more and more of the XP. Those monsters will they'll only spawn into a quest once, and only if I have this thing equipped. And I have to be no more than 3 levels above the base level of the quest, and that's why I didn't take a level yet. Something called daily dice. Once a day, you can roll a dice. The game gives you to roll a dice and get some XP. Basically, they're rewarding you for coming into the game at least once a day. Part of the things you can get something called XP. Well, you can get an XP stone from it. I just used it out of my inventory. A little bit of extra XP, leveling myself up a bit more. Yeah, this is the first one of the druids you have to kill, so you can move on. Them and all the rest of the trash over here. As I got an augment, this augment can be slotted into an item, and, well, I don't have any specific need for that one, but I can at least sell it in the auction house. And for those who it is useful, it's very good. Now, this quest has a second objective, an optional objective, that allows you to, collect these, like, corruption nodes for a bit of XP. I don't feel like I want to do it. I'll just show what they look like, yeah. Click on this thing, and you get 8 more of those to click on. If I collect on all of them, I'll get a bit of XP. But you really have to hunt them down if you want them. Yeah, I'll show you. Yeah, I had to confirm that there was nothing in the first room. Whatever. Yeah, now because we defeated that first druid, all of these passageways open up. Yeah, there's like spike traps down over here that fall. And jump over it. There are these 2 side rooms, and one of them has another druid who's an optional, just hanging out. Also, if you smash enough things, you get a extra breakable bonus. This is my XP card, breakables. Now they're 8% to breakable, 8% to my total XP because I smash some pots. So, there's also potential to find rewards there, but really it's for the extra XP. Back on track. Yeah, during the Snow Peaks Festival, some of the, champions have this special visual look. They become ice. Pretty cool. It's a unique visual you wouldn't see otherwise. You can see these spore pods really hide in the corners. You really have to go check out every corner if you want to find them. It's not like the XP is great or something. It's just another little objective. Yep, heading back to the center of this quest. I'm going to go down the second path. The one that leads to the other direction. And do the same thing and go over. Find another druid, kill him. Open up the way to the center. Yeah, so we're back to the center. Center way is still blocked. Gotta go to the other way first. Sometimes these corners are like, they're just basically, it's a thin sheet of leaves, and you step on it, it like disappears, and you fall into a big spike trap. But if the monsters are walking on it, it kind of gives it away that it's not. So it's a way to find out that it's not really a floor if the monsters don't step on it. They seem to avoid it. Well, really, what it means is that the AI of the game is telling them that they can't walk there.
Remains clean and pure, untouched by the corruption.
The chest always spawns where you kill the monster. I think so. Or actually where I am. But if I was jumping when I was killing him, spawn in midair. Yeah, I think like this falls in unless you go around it. I do believe that some of these traps are random, so like if you run the quest again, a different section will fall in, so you can't actually always anticipate, is it going to fall in this time or not? Kind of sneaky. And this is all still blocked. Once I defeat the node at the end of this path, everything will open up. Yeah, we got the second druid. Now, gotta clear the way back. Here comes. They chased me, but they ran out of their. They got too far from their origin, so they got teleported back. It's a way the game prevents lag by not allowing monsters to get too far from where they spawn. They can't track you down forever, basically. And yeah, so that's a strategy. If you outrun some monster, usually at a certain distance it will despawn. You get like this white dot above its head and disappear. Whoops, I just fell.
Into a pit of spikes.
Yeah, usually you would fall into this pit, you would take damage. The game would throw what's called a reflex save, and if you are successful at your reflex save, you'll only take half the damage. If you're not, you'll take full damage. Unless you've got something called evasion. Evasion means that if you are successful at your reflex save, you won't take damage at all. If you fail, you'll take full damage. Unless you have something called improved evasion, which says that If you are successful, you take no damage, and if you fail, you only take half damage. So, in my case, this trap would probably do almost no damage to me. Because worst case scenario, I fail my save, I'll take only half damage. Big deal. Yeah, these are shrines. I can just rest here. I can click on this thing and it will return some of my abilities. Like I've used this action boost where I have a finite amount of them per quest. But if I rest now, it'll return that and also like fill back up my spell points. Well, I didn't really use that many spell points, but yeah, it'll heal me up. When you do rest, you'll have to rebuff, so add back your abilities. And this is, well, clickies. Clickies is basically an item who has a certain spell on it or something that I can click. That's why it's called a clicky. And use it, and it gives you some kind of ability. You can see all the stuff that I have up here at the top. Yeah. I rebuffed my character, got some power back. Let's move on. Another passageway, another chance for this to fall. The part on the map I didn't explore. This little nook over here, I can tell I didn't go there, so let's go back. Just a reminder, if you got any questions or want anything explained, well, this is your show. Please feel free to ask. If you got any quests or anything specific you'd wonder how it's done, how to solo, yeah, this is your place, so feel free. No, you don't have to, but this is your chance. I think I got everything. If I didn't, feel free to point it out. Pretty sure I missed too many nodes to be able to complete the node objective, but whatever. I don't feel like going back and scouring this entire quest again, bumping into every nook and cranny in this place. If I happen to get it, I happen to get it. That's it. There's a total of 9 of them, so it would seem logical there'll be 3 in one passageway, 3 in the other passageway, and 3 in the final passageway. Which would indicate that I'm on track to complete it, but we will see. Yeah, double save, save. I almost caught the ladder fast enough not to hit the floor. It's very dark and it's hard to see what you're doing. You are a character who can disable traps. You can actually search and find the trap and like disable it and prevent it from falling in. But I can't do that, so yeah. Here's the final fight.
There is a third corruption node here, and a remarkably large dire bear. But where is Halsing?
I accidentally destroyed the node, and that opened up the gate to all of this trash. I'm gonna use a more defensive attack. Puts down the circle around me with fire that heals me all the time, so my DPS, my damage per second will be a little bit less, but it'll be more survivable, and also everything around me is taking damage while I stand in it, so it's a pretty good trade-off. Now I can go back to my regular. Hello, the evil time, man.
The great dire bear and her druid companion have fallen. The source of the corruption destroyed. The silence that follows is broken by a faint human cry.
Yeah, I don't feel bad about it. I probably would have played solo anyways. But good to see. Yeah, I know my time zone is crazy and it's the opposite of everybody else, but it is what it is. Also, hi Ruben, how you doing? Good to see you too. If I get lucky, I can find the last few corruption nodes in this room. For some reason, if you type emojis on an iPad, it seems that rather than giving you the actual emoji, it just tells you what the emoji is supposed to be. Whatever.
Wait, come here, calls a druid from where she lies on the floor, gasping in pain. You are looking for Hallsame, says the injured druid. He is not here. He has gone to Druid's Deep. With that, the last of light passes from her eyes. Her words linger darkly. Thorn Hollow is cleansed. But while Hallsame lives, none of these lands are safe.
Yeah, so basically this story goes that some kind of corruption's happening and I've got to figure out, find the druid who's in charge of it and whatever. I've tracked him down through 3 different quests. These 3 quests, and now I'm up to the last one, this one over here. I'm gonna jump in and let's go find the boss and defeat him. This guy. Basically what I'm doing right now is I'm summoning some hirelings. Hirelings are like extra help the game gives you. You're really only supposed to be able to summon one of them unless they're premium. These are all like premium hirelings. Now they're all under level, so they're not very useful. But they have sometimes they become useful as like a backup. Just in case something goes wrong, I can call them in and help me. As long as I'm streaming, I'd rather be safe than sorry.
Deep. The dying druid's riddle was that you must be a wolf, a fish, and a bear to find the way.
Hey, nice. What character did you roll up? I mean, what was the build? Yeah, basically I'm in a quest right now where I'm making my way through this dense forest looking for some guy who's been causing some kind of corruption. That's it. So that is my goal. You gotta make it past all the wildlife. Those, for some reason, all wants to kill me. Ah, nice. Are you using Dirty Williams' Pale Master Rogue? Because it's a classic build and it's pretty good. You're going for more of a melee attacker kind of build. Anyone who missed it, basically Cormier, the server that I'm playing on right now, is meant for, well, it was open for VIPs, only people who have like a subscription. And for pressure testing, they now opened it up to everyone. So if you want, this is your chance to jump on the new server. And if you play on it, you'll get extra favor and stuff. And, well, get some DDO points. So Evil Tile Man over here did exactly that. And we're discussing the kind of character he rolled up. The character is basically 2 levels of rogue that gives you all the trapping skills and gives you the ability to do evasion like we explained before. Basically, if you take damage, if you fall into a trap, you have a chance of taking no damage whatsoever. And it's pretty good with Wizard because Wizard usually doesn't have armor. So avoiding traps or avoiding damage in that way is pretty good. And then the other thing is he's taking a certain ability that allows him to heal using becoming an undead form. He's basically a Pale Master, which means that from like evil, dark surrounds him. That's what basically a death aura heals him. Yep, Pale Master is good that way. And yeah, and you can play the character in different ways. You can play it as a caster, somebody who throws a lot of spells, or you can do it as a melee character who basically comes up front and attacks things. So he went to more of the melee attack. Eldritch Knight is a way for wizards who usually cast spells to attack more like a fighter or a warrior would do. Yeah, they told me that I got instructions in this quest that I'll have to be like a fish, and that was referring to the swimming part. There's like 3 different sections I have to defeat. Yeah, another thing about this Miststalker event is while I have these lanterns, there's a version of these who is hardcore lanterns. Basically, if you die at any point, the lantern disappears from your inventory forever. So the only way to keep the lantern going is to not die until you completely fill it and turn it in. And if you do, you'll get a reward that has an extra like hardcore skull on it. So slightly different than the regular ones, but the stakes are much higher. You can only pick up the lantern if you're level 1, so you'll have to go at level 1, pick it up, and then keep it in your inventory at all times and not die. And if you do, well, you got a reward. All of them trying to attack me once. Figured it would be more safe if I dropped down and he circled for healing rather than going for full damage. This quest actually has a few optional sections, areas. Not very interesting, but yeah. Here's one of them. I think there's like a collectible at the end of this place. A whole bunch of trash to fight, but yeah. I believe there's a collectible.
Across the fetid pond is a strange sight. A young woman in distress.
Yeah, right. Fighting a hag now, thanks. I'm doing it because I want to add it to my monster manual. There's a section of there's like something called a monster manual in the game, who gives you specific rewards for killing certain monsters. I don't know if it has hag as one of its monsters. I can check, I guess. But I just wanted it just for the experience, for the fun. Let's check if it shows up. Okay, well, take care. Sleep well. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I'm going through all the different types of monsters. There are different categories. I'm not sure where to find hag, if it does exist. I don't remember it existing, but you never know. Nope. Yeah, but let's say over here, this monstrous plant, I've killed so much of them that I've opened up all 5 of these. Who opens up this? This means that every time I look at a monstrous plant, I can actually see how many hit points it has. So I'll show it next time we see one. Here I can see the different ones I killed, the different types. Move them around and see their different animations. This gives me more stats about him, more abilities and things. So yeah, pretty cool. Here's that collectible I was looking for. The real reason I came here. You're wondering, here's what collectibles are. I've got these bags. Come on. Full of these things, collectibles. Basically, I picked them up at different places. I can use them later for crafting. So that's all. There's a whole bunch of bear traps here on the floor. I don't want to step in them. So yeah, I just skipped them all. These will-o-wisps, or this primal wisp, doesn't have legs. It doesn't stand on the floor, so I can walk over the bear traps without getting caught. But I step in it, I get caught. Not fair. Yeah, we're basically nearing a mini boss, and then the end fight. We're almost there. This is a druid over here, a hunter. And he's got a nice pet. Seems to be very fuzzy and furry. And it has 8 legs. Rather than the classical bear. Or a wolf. This guy has a spider. Skitter. Nice name. Sometimes the devs give a very cool name to some like optional monster that nobody ever sees. And it feels like a shame. If nobody's gonna ever see it, give it a weird name. not some cool name. Don't waste the cool names on monsters that nobody will ever see. Yeah, here's another one of those optionals. Ooh, I just got earth grabbed. Special attack. I failed my save and he caught me. Every time you use a buff, it has like a timer on it. So after a certain amount of minutes, it expires. So it's inevitable that I'll have to rebuff every once in a while. Keep up my abilities. Yeah, basically, here's a shrine. It's protected by some of these earth elementals. But I skipped an optional. Let's go get it. I said I was going to do it, so. Or at least I was going to show it off. So before you enter this passageway, it's outside. Yeah, from this fight where we fought the guy with his spider, there's a bunch of rocks over here you can climb up. Takes you to another area. I don't think anybody ever like visits here.
High rock ledge is as dry and lifeless as the ground below is choked with life.
But I'm wondering if there's enough breakables here to get it. We did skip one optional. In the middle of the swimming section, there's a drow ambush you can activate, but I skipped it. I didn't feel like doing it. Yeah, so basically I'm going to run around this area and try to clear out all these monsters. Just a bunch of, well, part of it's breakables and part of it's monsters. I think I'll focus on the breakables and let the monsters come for me, rather than me trying to track them down. Let them do the hard work. You do get one collectible here, so that's good news. Yeah, let's cook them all together. And they are gone. Let's check out the XP. Breakables, 15%. So yeah, running around over here and smashing some breakables. Definitely worth it. Because the amount of XP you get per quest is fixed at the beginning. There's like a, well, sorry, the base amount is fixed. And then you can modify it by doing extra things. If you don't die at all, so you get something called Flawless Victory, it gives you another 10%. If you disable traps, depending on how many traps you disabled, you can get another 10%, 20, or 30%. If you do breakables, you can get like 8 or 10 or 15%. If you kill monsters, you can get like 10, 15, or 25% extra. So there's like different goals that if you do them, they modify the total amount of XP you get. So here we are, end fight. This big open area. Arena, there's that guy in the middle. We need to defeat him. And there's this druid that he turned into stone. So, yeah. But there is a collectible here, so I'm going to go get it first. If I can find it. I'm not mistaken, it's someplace in the water. Yep, here we go. Okay, let's face off against this guy. He's pretty tough. This chain was introduced. I think the level cap was like 25, maybe 28, I don't remember. And it was very easy to die. So everybody would like fight him no farther than like this distance away from the entrance. Just in case you messed up, you could run back to the shrine. And It's been years since then, but I'm still paranoid, so I still use the same strategy. I go fight in the back of the room.
Now you. I don't know where your precious nobleman is. He can't have his staff back anyway. I've decided to keep it. But you have no place in my forest. You will die to feed my flowers.
Yeah, he ain't very nice. Pull a lightning storm on me.
No, my friends.
Halfway through it, he transforms into a wolf. Now, because of plot armor, I can't actually kill him in this stage unless I kill all the trash around him first. So, focus on the trash and then it'll turn back to a normal human. Okay, here he comes back to normal. Now we can attack him a bit more, and then he's gonna transform again. Spoiler alert.
I've only begun to understand. Are you listening?
And now he turns into a bear. Yeah, part of the gimmick over here was this same expansion was like when they introduced Druid to the game, so they're trying to have a cool Druid boss who could turn in both to a wolf and to a bear. So. And they didn't want to ruin it with allowing you to attack him too fast, so they kind of forced it that he would stay alive no matter what. So you'd have to watch him in his bear form, in his wolf form, whatever. I don't care. I defeated him. As he dies, this guy becomes turned back to normal. Now he's gonna go touch the staff. Well, he pulls it up. And yeah, he fixed it. There, fixed it. And we are done. And that was that. So now I believe we've got like only one more quest in this chain. Only one more quest at level 23. And then I can take level 24. Again, the only reason I didn't take level 24 is because of those mist stalkers. They'll spawn into quests, but I won't be able to get the reward for it. I'm still trying to fill a lantern, so I'm holding out and waiting. Yeah, there's different named rewards for this end that I can get over here. And I'm debating which one I should take for me. Probably villagers. The quarter staff I'm using is something that I bought using commendations of villagers, so probably it's a good idea. Let's see if I got a Harper pin. Every time you complete a quest, you get something called favor. If you get enough favor by a certain faction, it'll give you a special reward. In this case, not enough. Yeah, not enough. This Patreon, once I get enough, where's Harper's? Harper's. If I make it to 125, I'll be able to get something called a Harper pin, which will allow me to release myself from any kind of ability that will hold me in place, any kind of crowd control. And I'll be able to use it once every 10 minutes. If I do more Harper favor, I'll have a greater harbor pin, which will allow me to release myself every 5 minutes. So, very useful. I should probably go get it as soon as I can. I'm selling all the trash I picked up while questing. I don't need all this stuff. Sell it for some platinum over here. And one of those quests I did, I got an armor. I think it's called Leaves of the Forest. See? Leaves of the Forest. And the Epic Elite, whatever, has Mythic 2 on it. It has a pretty cool cosmetic, which I can either show you or sell on the auction house. I think I'm going to sell it on the auction house. It's Epic Elite. Somebody might buy it. It's got a special Mythic +2 on it. I don't know. Yeah, here I'm selling it for basically shards. Shards are, well, kind of real money. You can buy them for real money. You can also just gain them in game. So make of that as you will. Yeah, I think I have one more quest, Memory Relapse or something like that. I need to teleport to. Back to Eberron, go to my guild ship, go to the 12, let's pick up the quest. This gives me a bunch of guild buffs. I don't really have that many guild buffs on this guild ship because it's very small, not a lot of space. I need to level up my guild. I need to increase this level if I want to be able to buy more things or a bigger ship. Or I can spend real cash on it, but I'm not going to do that. Basically, I've got this guild ship just so I can teleport around and save time. Yeah, one of the expansions, they add like an adventure pack, which was made of single one-off quests all stuck together. So there's like no real narrative that connects between them other than here's a bunch of single quests. Enjoy. Yeah, over here we've got these two wizards or some kind of rivalry between them. I don't really know what the story is, but we're going to go sort it out. We've got to put on a play or something like that. I don't remember. Don't ask me.
You're surprised to find yourself in what looks like a vast library, though broken bookcases and scattered papers suggest something has gone very wrong. Perhaps Terra Fenwith can explain what's going on. You need to help Terrence Hawksworth give his speech. Find books in his memory library that will help him deliver his address.
Yeah, so this is basically us kind of like looking out onto the 12 where they're standing over there and he's about to like give his speech. And we need to find like stuff in his memory to put on this lectern podium and read it out in order. There's a total of 2 books down every hallway. Only one of them is real. The other one is just nothing. And every book I put over here, I'll have to fight around the monster. So I don't want to put extra books, but I can. And if I do, I'll get extra XP. Whatever. They go down 4 different hallways, fight a whole bunch of monsters, find some books. That was it. That was the quest. Yeah, I think this is inside of his head.
What was once the library's core collection is now complete chaos. This is where Vaspar Danville's attack had its greatest effect.
But yeah, basically he's lost his mind. Metaphorically. Yeah, so what I mentioned before about the Harper pin, that would have been very useful right now. Could have been able to escape that touch where they touched me and forced me to dancing and made me helpless. So I picked up these two books. These two crests. Put them over here. This book, who's an elevator, will get activated. Hope you're following along, because this should make perfect sense to you right now. Kidding. And I bumped my head and fell off. I gotta climb up again. Also, by the way, I'm pretty sure I could have cheated the entire first section by just doing a long jump, but whatever. Yeah, here I found the cookbook, but common sense should tell you that the cookbook has nothing to do with his speech. So I'm going to pick it up.
You've found a book that can be used in the speech.
I want to activate this lever, so it'll allow me to climb back up if I fall down. So I won't have to go all the way back through the jumping puzzle from before. Here's another one of these books, so I need to activate it by finding a crest. Got the crest. Pretty sure there's an optional over here. I don't know if I can actually open it. With this, I have one of my hirelings. I can summon him to me. And see if he can find a secret door. Tell him to look for it. Thank you. Wow, that made me jump. Let's see if you can pick the lock on this thing now. Nice. And we've got a Mistalker. The Mistalkers vary in their difficulty, and based on their difficulty, they give a certain amount of XP. And also the difficulty of the quest you're running also changes that. Like standing on the elevator before I put my crest in, so that way it doesn't just like start moving suddenly and I'm not prepared for it. The top over here, once again, there's a lever that you can pull that will allow you to climb all the way up just in case you fall. Yep, ladder over there.
You've found one
Central
of the books of
thesis.
speech. All the books in the East Wing have been found.
Basically, done with the east wing, we can head out and go do a different side. Let's go to the library.
Countless books and papers are crammed into every corner of the dimly lit stacks. It would take some effort to find any particular book in this labyrinth of learning.
Well, there's 2 books in this section again. One of them is the real book. The other one is just a optional for finding both books in the section. Yeah, there's numbers on the floor telling you which part of the library you're in. You got a journal over here.
You've found a book that can be used in the speech.
Based on the tone of the DM, the Dungeon Master, he's basically telling you, this is probably not the book you were looking for. That's basically what he just said. A very rough hint. Yeah, I got a rebuff. I was running out of... My buffs were cooling down. There's an optional section over here. I believe there's a pseudo dragon at the end, sleeping on some books.
Something slumbers in the room up ahead.
A bookworm. His name is Papyrus. Nice. Yeah, this entire quest is me going through somebody's mind, so it's kind of abstract. Yeah, I get some loot for it, so I'll take it. Optional complete. Let's get back on the main quest. Gotta find a book for the speech. Fundamentals of magic, yeah. Basically, it's telling me to still need to look for this book. That was a... whatever it is. That was an index. It's supposed to tell me where the book is. Let's see if my Harling can do the search. Okay. Located in row 2 of the stacks. Let's go to row 2 of the stacks. And Get our hireling to look there. This is 9, 5, 3. Two. Should be around here someplace. Not what I was looking for. Just an optional chest. I don't know if you can actually disable these traps. Could be too much of a high level. Let's try. Oh, here we are. 4 Principles of Magic. Okay. Second book we need.
You found one of the books for the speech. All the books in the North Wing have been found.
4 Principles of Magic and the Thesis. Those are the books I needed. Here comes an attack. Opens up after I'm finished. Anyway, this entire quest is me searching this guy's memory and putting on a lecture in his name.
Several figures bustle around this lofty reading room. Students or researchers, perhaps.
And again, they danced me. So annoying. Basically, yeah, again, looking for 2 books someplace around here. I found out that if you don't kill all these bookshelves, what happens is they trigger a bunch of monsters who chase you down and give you a dungeon alert. Well, then will drive you crazy, so it's just faster to kill it. Yeah, so there should be 2 books over here. One of them is a joke, one of them is serious. Yes, I've got 2 books over here. An index, a recent whatever acquisitions, and memories of a helpful healer. So basically, I'm going to pick them up, and depending on the DM voice, I'll be able to tell which one's the one who's relevant.
You've found a book that can be used in the speech. You've found one of the books for the speech. All the books in the
Yep,
West
so
Wing have
I
been
got my 2
found.
books. And now the final section. Final section that is before the end fight.
Whatever was in this room originally, it's now dominated by a
Gigantic
gigantic tree
gnome.
and an equally gigantic school teacher.
Every room has got its own theme and its own weird monsters you're fighting. Again, this is all inside of his memory. And this is how he remembers his teacher, even though gnomes are short. To him, well, it was his teacher, so she was gigantic to him. Math book.
You've found a book that can be used in the speech.
Well, you can do better than that. Get to the top of this classroom scene. There's these wind traps who can blow you off, but I'm going to cheat my way past them by just running and jumping the whole thing. Rather than trying to time it. Ain't nobody got time for that. Shelve the memories. Yeah, looking for the final book inside of this wizard's memory, so I can go and put on a lecture in his name.
Concerned with what's going on below.
Yes, this is how he remembers himself as a youth.
You've found one of the books for the speech. You've collected enough books to begin giving the speech. All the books in the South Wing have been found.
Okay, now let's go put on a shoe. Get my Harlings to stand here. If they stand in the center, they're just gonna die. Okay, so now I've got to put on our speech. Begin the speech.
Prompted by your actions inside his memory, Terrence Hawksworth clears his throat and begins to speak.
Yes, I can pick one of the books that I found, so I found all 8. Makes it harder to distinguish which one's supposed to be which, but I'm gonna start off with a joke to, get everybody warmed up.
The audience chuckles happily at a well-worn but still entertaining joke. Vaspar Damsel suddenly appears before you. Terrance's rival is determined to stop the wizard from delivering his speech.
Yeah, if I attack him enough, he'll stop. And he'll put himself in a protective bubble. At least he'll stop hitting me. Okay, let's move on. Next one. Let's see.
The
I don't remember.
audience exchanges embarrassed looks as the wizard reads extracts from his private diary.
I guess that wasn't the one.
The guest of honor leans forward eagerly, caught up in Terrent's tale of his old school friend and their favorite subject.
Yeah, the different rounds come from the different places where you would pick up those books, as far as I can tell.
Terrent delivers a brief but enlightening summary of the fundamental principles of magic he's discovered during his career.
Yeah, so basically, I need to crack a joke at the beginning, then I need to tell a brief history of, well, these two guys. Then I need to explain the basics of magic, and now I put my central thesis.
The renowned wizard explains the core idea of his speech, a bold but practical plan to use the arcane arts to better the lives of all.
Oh no, please don't kill me now. I'm almost done with this quest.
You've driven the intruder out of the wizard's mind. No longer affected by Vaspar Danville's spell, Terrent is able to bring his speech to a rousing conclusion. The whole strange incident is now just another memory for his collection.
Okay. Now he's finally standing up straight, so we have concluded this. Also, something funny that happens is sometimes you're familiar, depending on your position, decides to land, which is very weird and very odd. I can't explain it, but I've noticed it's starting to happen lately. It has nothing to do with the quest, I'm just saying. This, I don't know, whatever. But we are done now. That was the last, I believe that was the last level 23 quest I had. Yeah, next ones are 24, so I guess I take a level now. And I need to remember what my level is, so just a second, I will check. Then I gotta open up the DDO builder and check it out. Okay, we gotta find an epic trainer. Move on to level 24s after that. Yeah, when you want to take a level, you have to first get enough XP to be able to take the level. Then you have to find the proper trainer. So levels 1 to 20, you have classes. You can take up to 3 different classes at once. Not all classes are compatible, but you can go up to 3 different classes. This character has 3 different classes. And every time you have to talk to the proper trainer, they'll train you in that class. Once you hit level epic, so it's just all the same. You always go to the epic trainer and you take your epic class. Improved martial arts, increased my weapon damage. Here, I guess, max this out. Yep. Gonna get my ranged attack back. I don't have a ranged attack right now. Never mind that. Let's see what's level 24. Giant Hold. And there is High Road. Okay, so basically, the 2 level 24s I have now was High Road and Giant Hold. I guess I'll put it up to you. Who wants to see Giant Hold? Who wants to see High Road? If you have no preference, I'm going to do High Road. So, choose quickly. I mean, eventually I'm going to do both of them, so the question is, which one would you like to see first? Either High Road or Giant Hold. Meanwhile, I'm just emptying out the trash in my backpack. When I was doing the leveling, I skipped Barovia and kept it for epics. And so I don't actually have a augment bag yet, which is a problem. Having an augment bag will allow me to collect all these little augments, these things, and put them in one place, rather than them filling up my bag. So yeah. For some odd reason, commendations of valor don't automatically go into your bag, and you have to keep on collecting them manually. Whatever, I'm just ranting, sorry. I guess we're doing High Road. That's good because I'll be able to get myself a Harper pin. I hope. High Road has one of my favorite wilderness areas, just because it's not huge. And I found there's a semi-bug that allows you to spawn multiple rare encounters. So you can just farm many chests. Way back in the day, I used to run around there and farm tomes. I mean, it's just a area level 24 zone, I believe, but whatever. To be able to pick up these quests after this final quest, after finish the first 4, get myself flagged. A High Road. You have these elixirs that allow to give you extra potential to your loot. And I don't really have that much stuff on this server, so having some better loot drop will give me more plat, and hopefully maybe some things I can sell in the auction house, or items with double slots, etc., etc. These scrolls are the story and explorer of this area.
The sky above, the road ahead. Yes, this would all be very pleasant if the fate of Cormyr were not at stake. Yet what did I expect when I first sought a nether scroll for my collection? There are those who would destroy a kingdom to possess a single nether scroll. Anyone who holds a scroll can expect danger to follow.
Yeah, you see these like little circles that pop up? These are rares. So as far as I can tell, if you just skip one of them, more and more of these will keep on spawning. Whatever. But I want to get them, I want to try to get all the rares. Search, Wisdom, Charisma. I don't really have the ability to do any of these. Let's try Charisma. Well, that was a surprising success. If you don't have any of the proper skill checks, you can always just do an unskilled attempt, and there is a good chance you'll get it eventually, but I was hoping not to have to do that. Other than that, you'll have to fight her. I should have put on an Death Ward, or he might hit me with negative levels. I'll just try to kill him fast enough. Got him. There's one rare encounter that only spawns here at night.
My path takes me to a crumbling castle near the river. Adventurers on their way to the Stronglands use it as a shelter. They all believe the castle to be a simple ruin long since scoured clean of any dangers or
Ooh, this is very
valiance.
important.
And yet the castle holds secret places known only to me. It's an ideal place to hide one of the scroll pieces.
There's one of these encounters who's a rare encounter that has two parts, where you have to step into it, and after you defeat part number 2, it will bring you to a place where you can find one of the scrolls. So now that I found it, I'm definitely going to do it now. It's going to pop me out all the way at the back side of this map, but that's fine. I don't know, I like opening up this map and doing all the rares and explorers. I don't know, I find it fun. Yeah, so basically I'm inside of this cave and 3 waves of monsters will spawn in trying to defeat me, and then a boss will spawn in. Because this is the second part of an encounter, I'll actually get 2 chests once I defeat this boss. Because usually every rare encounter gives you a chest. So. And part 1 of this rare encounter didn't really give you anything. They get both chests once you finish part 2. And you get some commendations from this area, which is another reason why I like it. Yeah, so exiting this side takes you to a place where is generally speaking hard to access without it. This particular scroll. There's a way to jump around here, but it's complicated.
Scroll piece and attempt to slip past them when night falls. If I manage to escape Netherill's clutches, I'll be free to return to the Stormhorns, back to where it all began. Perhaps I will find answers there.
I'm just getting more and more and more rares. This is so cool. Abandoned King is spawned in, and apparently Defeat the Giant Spider also is spawned in here someplace. But I don't see it. Yeah, that also happens sometimes. Yeah, defeat the giant spider. It should be here, but I don't see it. I don't know what happened. Whatever, let's go collect all the rest of the scrolls. Let's open up this map. If you find all the explorer points in a map, so sometimes they're fixed points, and sometimes there's scrolls, whatever. If you find all of them, it will open up the map. That's like the reward for doing it.
I cannot involve the Harpers. I began this, and I swear I will end it. On my honor as a Hunt Silver. I shall return to the Stormhorns, where I first laid eyes on the wretched scroll. And then, perhaps... But first, I must rid myself of the Netheries on my trail. My heart is filled with doubt. This is a Nether Scroll, after all. It contains knowledge beyond imagining. If I managed to acquire all of the Nether Scrolls, I'd be as powerful as a god. Nay, I would be a god. Of course, I would be driven quite mad. My honor would be meaningless, and the Hunt Silver name would be in ruin. No, my duty is to give up the scroll.
Basically, the story over here is something called the Nether Scroll. Can grant you great power, but drive you crazy or something like that. And somebody has a Nether Scroll and ripped it apart and put it in all different places. And we're gonna go collect the different pieces. And this is his journal.
Cormier's army is occupied along the Symbian border, and the remaining Purple Dragon Knights must...
The crumbling remains of this Cormyrian outpost have been turned into a refuge for brigands, and worse. It's Netheril. They're using hired sellswords for the most part, but there's no mistaking they're damnable wizards. I had not thought they'd show themselves so boldly inside Cormier. But with our army occupied elsewhere, Netheril has been given the perfect opportunity. This once bustling village is strangely silent. No townspeople can be seen, and many of the windows are shuttered. Are the villagers hiding from the local bandits? Or something worse? Sometimes when I close my eyes, I could swear I hear a soft voice in some long dead tongue. Could it be the scroll? I must be strong. I must not listen. I must not listen to the soft whispers in the dark. I'm almost to Tirluk. The little village shall serve to hide one of the scroll pieces. I'm being watched, of course, but I shall triumph nonetheless. I'll just stroll into the inn and present it to my old friend the bartender. What could be simpler?
Found one in a pumpkin patch.
I spotted them again today. That's the third time. I would simply meet them in battle and accept the judgment of fate, but they cannot be allowed to obtain the Nether Scroll. The scroll cannot be permanently destroyed, yet it may be concealed for a time. I shall tear the scroll into pieces, hide them as I head down the high road.
One of the rare encounters here can only spawn at night. The map spot can spawn during the day, but you won't be able to fight it because it's a werewolf and he only turns into a werewolf at night. And even if you wait long enough, it won't help you. You have to come at night for it to spawn in. There's a scroll tucked away over here someplace, and one after that big log. Here we go.
I hid the first scroll piece near Green-Wheeled Lane. Upon my honor, I swear the parchment was moving in my hand as I held it. Perhaps that's to be expected. Given the magic the scroll contains, it was almost as if the pieces of the scroll were trying to escape.
Okay, and we're going to find the last piece up here. As soon as I do, I'll open up the entire map. But right now, it's like you can only see where I walked, and the rest is covered with fog of war.
I've given a piece of the scroll to Seamus for him to keep safe. There are few I would trust to such a task, but Seamus saved my life back when my only concern was finding relics for my collection. And aside from the old fellow's loyalty, there are things in his swamp that will keep unwanted visitors away.
Okay, so we're closer to this quest. We'll do it first. So yeah, we've opened up the entire map. We've got a fair amount of the rares. Now we can move on to the actual quest. A lot of quests have the optional to do breakables, but it's not really worth your time and effort because there might be too many of them. This is one of those rare cases that everybody should do the breakables because there's so few right at the beginning, and you get a very nice XP bonus for it. It's totally worth it. Yeah, I think I've smashed all the things. Let's see. XP. Breakables. I broke 9 breakables and I got another 8% to my XP. So I think free 8% to your XP of this quest is pretty good. Let's talk to him.
Seamus's directions to the
And I'll
giant
open up the way.
felled oak lead into the cave tunnel and deeper into the swamp.
Like when you attack these mudmen, as they take damage, they get smaller. They start shrinking, as if you're knocking the mud off of them. There's an optional area over here. Fight rounds and rounds of will-o-wisps and a whole bunch of other trash. I'm not really feeling like doing it. Moving on. Just follow the footprints on the floor.
Into the gloomy wilds.
Hope you can see the footprints.
A massive tree looms in the midst of the bog ahead.
You've got these dryads who come out of their trees. You need to defeat them, and before you can kill them, they always escape into their tree. Then you have to attack the tree. Unless you just overwhelm them and just one-shot them. In which case, they can't get back to their tree. That also works. Oh, right, here. I said I was going to show this before. If I look at the Vine Creepers, this one's got 1,667 hit points. And that's because we unlocked that with the Monster Manual. Yeah, I have to carve my way through these woods little by little, clear out. And if you don't kill these monsters, the way won't open up for you. Also, for some reason, every other stream, somebody shows up in chat and spams some kind of trash link to something. And I have to ban him every time. People just won't give up.
You have found the Fallen Oak Shrine. You must be close to the lair of the Medusa Shottus.
Hi, Pilot on by. How you doing?
The old hermit Seamus waits to speak with you near the giant fallen oak just ahead.
Are you planning on playing a pure tank build? You're going to be completely dependent on your group. That means you're going to be like a static tank. Or you want to do like a pseudo tank, where basically you can actually play the build by yourself, but when you join a group, you're the tank. What is your direction?
The heart of the swamp must be near.
You can try on Axel's tank. I think the one with the Kukri or Strintom's tank. Both of them are just basically fighter maxed out. Well, in both cases, it's pretty good. It doesn't have like any good self-healing, so you're dependent on the rest of the group, and you basically give up all of your attack. Ah, good. Okay, great. Once you get the base down and you play it for a little bit, you'll know already what you like and what you don't like, and you'll play around with that and change whatever you want. Well, you need a baseline. It's always important that you play a little bit, get a feel for what you like and don't like, and then you'll know which way to go. Because when you just start off, you don't know, like, so what makes this build attractive to me? I'm not sure. It's like, so it's a tank. There's so many different tanks. So you got to try one. Just take one that you know will work, and then see what you like or don't like about it and change it after that. Anyway, for anybody who's tuning in right now, we're working our way through this swamp, trying to look for something called the Nether Scroll. And there's a Medusa who's living here, who's protecting the scroll. And we gotta get through waves of trash. Eventually to defeat her and get the scroll. And this thing is part of an event, and I just got stunned by it. Yeah, basically you're checking out all the classics. Have you tried any, like, caster tanks, like Voodoo's tank? Because that's like an entirely different, like, way of thinking about it. I've got my own different takes on tank, but you shouldn't be taking advice from me about tanking because I've never actually done it very good, so I can't say that I've been successful at it. Well, fair enough, yeah.
Firelight and murky fog fill the tunnel that leads to the Medusa's rocky lair. A pair of stone statues stand as silent warnings.
Many years ago, Strimtop made a video called Fun Tank. It got nerfed and changed, but the primary thing was you played as one kind of thing, and once you get to level 20, you played as something else, and it uses the, whatever that thorn attack is from Primal Avatar or something. Yeah, I don't remember. It's very good. Yeah, I'm not saying that it would be a better. You wouldn't be able to solo it with, but you still would be able to. I'm just saying it's a different flavor of tank. That's all.
The Medusa raises a magic barrier as she directs her minions to attack.
For anyone tuning in right now, basically, and at the end of this quest, we've got to fight this Medusa. Once we defeat her, we'll be able to pick up a piece of something called the Nether Scroll, and that'll be the quest. So, right now, she's sending her minions at us. There's a whole bunch of stoned enemies over here. I wonder if you have flesh to stone. If you have stone to flesh, if you can release them, it'll help you. Never tried it.
Fury at the destruction